Hey guys, what's up? So yes, let's talk about two elephants in the room. One, I got my hair cut again. It's pretty short. It's summer and quarantine has made me lazy. So I don't want to do anything with my hair. So I just let it go. Second thing is it has been a hot minute since I've been on YouTube. I'm telling you guys, quarantine is just, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to edit videos. I'm still working, but it's just been a lot. My sister and my nephew came down a few weeks ago, and they're coming down again next week. And then my dog had surgery. I don't know if I told you guys, but my dog had to have ACL surgery. He actually has to have 2 surgeries, and he just had his first one. It's now almost 3 weeks since he's had his surgery, and he's doing fantastic. He has his next surgery in about a month. Which will be on his other ACL. And then after that, fingers crossed, no more surgeries. So yeah, it's just been a lot. A lot of things with work, a lot of things with, social distancing, quarantine that I just didn't make a video. I didn't feel motivation. So I wanted to update you guys on a couple things. In my last video, I did, Omnipod. So I did an Omnipod on my back. I'm going to be completely honest, ever since my last video, I didn't put Omnipod on my back again. Not because it hurts or anything like that. I have found a new place to wear my Omnipod, and it is my thigh. So if you're like me, I was a little nervous about wearing the Omnipod on my thigh. It freaked me out. And I was like, what if I hit a blood vessel? I don't know if you guys, being type 1 diabetics or diabetic at all, if you guys have ever taken a shot in your thigh. Before I got the pump, which was about 2-ish years ago, 1-ish years ago, maybe 1 year in October, I think. Before I got the Omnipod, I used to give shots in my stomach all the time, and then I'd sometimes move to my thigh, especially if I was out in public. I'd just do my thigh really quick if I was wearing shorts. So I hated taking shots in my thigh. It freaked me out. I feel like it hurt more and I bruised more than my stomach. So I was like, okay, I do not like the idea of wearing a pump on my thigh. Because, the pump's in your body for 3 days. And it freaked me out, guys. It freaked me out. So in reality, my mom's a type 1 diabetic too. She has the Omnipod, and she was like, I need to find a new place. I don't want to try my back. So I was like, try your leg. And she tried her leg before me, and she jumped something terrible the first time. And it bruised her pretty bad too, but I was like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. So what I do is I put my leg propped up, if I'm sitting in a recliner. Put one leg like that, and it's I don't know, I just feel like more of the fat is right there, or not really fat, but muscle, whatever you want to call it. Because I don't really have a lot of fat in my thighs. If I'm looking at any place that has the most fat, it's going to be my stomach. So I was like, okay, let's try this. So I put my leg up, and it didn't even hurt, guys. It didn't even hurt. And if you guys have the Omnipod, you know how loud it is whenever the needle thing gets in your body. It sounds like a freaking gunshot, and it kind of freaks you out, but it didn't hurt. So I was using my leg constantly. Every time I changed it, I switched to the other leg, and then I switched to the other leg, then I go to my stomach, then I go back to my leg. I love it on my leg. But I noticed on my leg, I do bleed more. So it's kind of disappointing. I also bruised more on my leg than I do on my stomach, which is kind of disappointing. But Omnipod on your leg, try it. It's totally freaky at first, but you can do it. I love it on my leg. And it gives your stomach a break, so if you want to sleep on your stomach, or, I don't know. It feels nice not to have anything on your stomach for a while. If you don't know, I wear my Dexcom on my arm constantly. I put it here, I put it here, I put it here, and here. These are my 4 spots I usually change to. I've heard of people wearing it on your back, and it just kind of, I don't know. I ain't about that life. So I've been wearing Dexcom on my arm, and I wear Omnipod on my thigh. So it gives my stomach a little bit of a break. I have been changing it more to my stomach recently, just because my thigh got a little bit more bruised, so I wanted to give my thigh a bit of a break. But yeah, that's the update with that. While we're just kind of chilling and sitting and talking, I'm going to take my sugar real quick. And yes, this is a noodle that I used previously, because we all have flaws, guys. We all have flaws. Now, I'm not going to use the same needle. I just forgot to take it out. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys. I had my A1C drawn a few weeks back, and because I had my virtual doctor's appointment. And it went good, but he also checked my thyroid. And that's not good because I got some pretty rough results back. I've never had thyroid problems, ever. I've always been pretty normal with my thyroid. And then recently, okay, I gotta get an alcohol swab. This was dried up. BRB. Okay. So I recently had my blood drawn, and my thyroid was not good. So I don't know if you guys have thyroid problems or even know what your thyroid is. So I'm not a doctor. Let's get this out. I just started having thyroid problems, so I don't know half of what you guys probably know. But your thyroid's like the little butterfly-shaped thing, like right around through here in your neck, your throat. And my family, my sister, my mom, and my two grandmothers all have Hashimoto's disease, which is hypothyroidism, meaning that you don't make enough of the thyroid thing. And so I feel like I was like destined to have thyroid problems. Like I was like, maybe I'll be the one person that won't have thyroid problems. That's a woman in our family. And I was wrong. Now, I will say my doctor, my endocrinologist, has done really good with checking my thyroid. So like every time I get my A1C taken, he always takes my thyroid to make sure everything's good. And if you guys have yet to get your blood drawn, or you see the lab report and you're like, what the heck does any of this mean? Your thyroid is a TSH. My goodness, my sugar is 167. My thyroid, or your blood work, I got on a rampage, is the TSH thingy. The lab work. So that's what they use to abbreviate it with. Then you have your T3 and I believe a T4. It's a lot of numbers. But let me tell you, I was a little, I don't know, I just feel nervous. Also, look how jacked up this is. I don't understand what's going on with Dexcom today. My levels were at a very low range to the point where it freaked my endocrinologist out. And he was asking if I was on any supplement or had I changed anything. And let me be honest, guys, I haven't changed anything. So we took some more blood work, and my levels came down a little bit. But he believes that I have I will have hypothyroidism, which reflected by Hashimoto's disease. Now, if you don't know what Hashimoto's disease is, because it is a mouthful, let me tell you. If you don't know what Hashimoto's disease is, it is an autoimmune disorder, kind of like type 1 diabetes, where it's an autoimmune disorder, but not the same thing. So Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune disorder that attacks your thyroid glands. If you guys are like me, I don't understand autoimmune disorders at all. I don't understand why your body would attack the good parts of your body, but I mean, we're type 1 diabetic and our pancreas sucks. So let's be real here. Anyways, so Hashimoto's disease is where it attacks your thyroid gland. So my mom, my sister, and my grandmothers all have that. So I was kind of destined to have it as well. And he also tested me for Graves' disease. And if you guys have Graves' disease, like, props to you guys. Just hearing the name freaked me out. I Googled it to see what it was, and it's not that bad. But it's just like the word Graves' disease freaks me out. So we don't have Graves' disease, or I don't have Graves' disease. I tested completely negative for that, no antibiotic for that, so we're good. Now, he is pretty sure that it's going to turn into hypothyroidism with Hashimoto's disease. Right now, I am hyper, so I'm producing too much thyroid instead of hypo, which is too little. I wish it was like right in the middle and I was producing just enough. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, and that's okay. Right now, I am on still insulin. Obviously, I'm type 1. You got to be on insulin for life. So I am on insulin, which is Novolog, and then I'm on metoprolol. If you guys don't know what metoprolol is, it can be used for several different things. Blood pressure, headaches, I think it's migraines, heart racing. And I'm on it for the heart racing. We noticed I was having some symptoms of hyperthyroidism. So he put me on metoprolol before we got all the blood work back. And y'all, metoprolol really helps. So if you have thyroid problems and you feel like your heart's about to like beat out of your chest, definitely talk to your doctor about it. Tell them what's happening, and maybe they'll, prescribe you some metoprolol. I'll tell you, it has been a world of difference. I've been on it for close to 10 days, I believe, and it has just made a super, super difference in me sleeping, in me just relaxing. My heart is a lot more calmer than what it was whenever my thyroid was kind of jacked up. We did take more blood about a weekish ago, and my levels had come down a little bit, but it's still out of range and not normal. So the next steps are July 10th-ish. I'm supposed to go back for more blood work. And usually, like, your thyroid blood work takes about a week, my doctor told me, to get back. So if you're having issues like with heart racing, or he explained it as you feel like you're drinking caffeine, like you're on that high of caffeine, even though you haven't had any, you might have some thyroid problems. And your thyroid problems affect many things in your body, not just your heart racing. If you're a woman, it can affect your cycle. If you are if anything, it can also affect digestive system issues. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but there are symptoms that they did mention that are super important that you guys watch out for. So luckily, we caught it in time. So either July 10th, it's either going to be back to normal, which it could be, or he said it could be still jacked up where I might be on medicine for life. Which, you guys, let's be real. If you're type 1 diabetics, you're already on medicine for life. And that's okay. We need our insulin to survive. I wish more people understood that, where insulin could be completely affordable. But, I mean, that's another rant for another time. But if you guys have Hashimoto's or hypo, not hyper, hypo, thyroidism, leave them in the comments below on how do you deal with it as a diabetic. I don't know. I already have. So back in high school, I was diagnosed with Raynaud's disease. So your fingers will turn blue if it's super cold. I used to call it Smurf's disease, but it is an autoimmune disorder as well. And then I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis back in high school as well. Now, luckily, that's all been in remission for quite some time now. But, I still have type 1 diabetes with Hashimoto's disease. So if you guys have it, leave in the comments below. Also, I wanted to let you guys know about the Omnipod on your leg. If you're scared, I know, I was there. Totally get it. It freaks me out too. But it's so much easier, guys. And you can actually feel like you can move more, in my opinion, than just like on your stomach. I just felt like constricted. And I wanted to let you guys know that I do have another autoimmune disorder, and I'm getting more blood work in the next 3 weeks or so to see what are the next steps. Am I going to be on medicine for life? And then the last thing I wanted to let you know, if you guys are on metoprolol, or you feel like you need some medicine to help calm your heart down, definitely talk to your doctor. Talk to your endocrinologist, or talk to your regular doctor that does your regular checkups. Keep them updated, guys. It's super important. I am so lucky that they caught my thyroid and that we can keep an eye on it instead of it getting so far gone that we couldn't have taken care of it. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Also, just a reminder, if you guys have Hashimoto's disease or hypothyroidism with type 1 diabetes, please leave them in the comments. Please, please, please. It's a new journey for me, and I'm nervous on how to take it, but I know I'm going to do totally fine. So leave them in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye, guys.